know what I'm saying? So the uncles would get married, and they'll be married for 40 years, and I've like never met their wife. You know what I'm saying? They don't come to the family gatherings. But Terrence was like, well, no, if Ertie's not coming, then I'm not coming. And so over time, it was kind of like, okay, well, we don't want him to not come, so I guess we better be nice to Ertie too.
That was a big boy move.
Yeah. So, but it was years of consistency.
Can I backdoor it? Yeah, can I backdoor it? I'm a mama's boy too, and it's just a special feeling to be a mama's boy, and no feeling like it, right? Yeah. And my wife didn't have any issues with my mom, but I want to say my part of it with what I was doing as a mama's boy. I was always talking to my mama because we got married at a young age. So when something go wrong, I'd be like, "Mama, you won't believe what Lauren did. What she do?" I'd be like, "Mama," and I would tell her. But what I didn't realize that I was doing was I was putting my mom in between me and my wife. And it's just any mother in here who has a boy, you know that's your baby. You know what I'm saying? My mom would say stuff like, "Well, if you need to come home, I'm not saying get a divorce. I'm just saying I want my baby to be good." And I was putting those seeds in my head, and I was like, maybe I might need to come home, you know? But like, my wife, I don't know if we had a discussion, me and her together, but I remember having to tell my mom, I was like, "I love you, Mom, I love you, but our relationship can't be the same way that it was anymore." And she's like, "But you my baby." And I said, "I'm always gonna be your baby, but now I have a different responsibility to my wife and to my family." I think in the Bible it says that the husband leaves his mother and clings to his wife. And as men, it's tough to do, you know, leave your mom, and she's loved you and all the stories of how she, you know, took care of you, and you know, she's your first love, but you had to leave her and love her differently now. You still love her, it's a different love to give that new love to my wife and that new responsibility to my wife. So on the mama's boy, I backdoor that 100%, but it is a change. It had to change my heart.
That holds true for daddy's girls too. It really does. It holds true for daddy's girls too, because he's your first love. And so girls will look up to their daddies, and a lot of times, if that was a good thing, sometimes even when it was a bad thing and we don't even realize it, we're still looking for our daddy and our man. Mm-hmm. So don't hold him responsible for that either. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, even when you don't, even if he wasn't the quote unquote model daddy, you still are looking for those tendencies because it's a comfort zone for you and don't even realize that you are sometimes. So you gotta be aware to make sure that you're not holding him responsible for living up to your daddy. And neither you for her mama either, so I'm just saying. Also, we have questions for singles too. Y'all ready?
Uh-oh.
Miss Rita, how do you deal with being single with friends and dating or married? How do you deal with being single with your friends and dating or married?
Well, I try not to, I don't know if this is on. Is it on?
Yes.
Well, for me, because I do have both, I have a mixture of friends that are married and single. I try to make sure that I understand that what happened for them, when it happened, may not be when it's going to happen and how it happened for me. I don't base my life on their life. Some I have married when they were younger and they wish they would have waited. They would have had an experience to explore and to discover who they really were, and etc. So I try to really believe that God has me in this place for a reason. That's one thing for me, because that's a comfort. In today's society, you are pressured. When you get to a certain age and you don't have children or whatever, you get stares or people look at you or whatever. So you can feel the pressure, so you have to know that who you are as an individual. You can't base your singleness on the fact that you have friends that are married or you have other friends that might be single, especially if you have friends that are married and they seem like they're just, how do I say this? That they're just on cloud 1,000, not 10, but cloud 1,000, because it's not always what it seems. And sometimes I think as a single woman, you crave what you see, but you don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. So you have to be comfortable in where God has you, and I believe it comes to trusting that God has you where you are for a reason.
That's good.
Thank you, Miss Rita. These questions are getting just more and more juicier. All right, what does a time to date look like? Do you schedule? Do you not schedule? Does it just happen? Do you take time to socialize? How do you work that out? Well, you had to do it to get married, huh? But we haven't heard from Mr. Vernon yet, so.
Can you repeat the question? No, I heard, but I just want to make sure I respond.
You are not in court, Mr. Vernon. So, what does a time to date look like? Do you schedule an appointment? Do you just let it happen? How do you work that out?
For me, I think that a time to date, it just it depends on where you're at in your life. For me, I like things to be more structured. As far as, hey, can we go out on Friday or can we go out on Thursday? I definitely like things to be more structured, but that varies for different people. Some people more spontaneous than others. Like, it could be, hey, it's Thursday, and you text, hey, let's go out for breakfast or something like that. So in that regard, it also depends on what your vibe is with a particular person. I'm a big vibes person, so if you're dating someone or talking to someone with regards to a particular time to go out and spend time with someone, I do enjoy things that are more structured. However, if it's a really good vibe, then it's like, hey, okay, yeah, let's go to breakfast. That's cool. Text me the day of. That's a good thing. In regards to on a macro level, in regards to when is it time to date in life, which I'm not sure which perspective that question was coming from, but on a macro level, that's an important question. When is it time? Do you stay reserved? Do you stay sheltered to yourself and focus on your goal and on your purpose and developing yourself as an individual, or is it time to let somebody in? And I think with regards to timing for that, I think that's a question that you need to pray about and have a internal conversation with yourself. And I think even if you have to be honest with yourself, even if you're in that place where you're developing yourself and building yourself, and somebody that does pique your interest comes along, I think it's important to take advantage of the time, seize the moment, and see where that can take you. Definitely date them, and don't preclude yourself from something that can make you a very happy person.
Wow.
Good stuff. Good
Wow.
stuff. I'm gonna skip this question. We'll come back to it. It's a good one. But it was just a little bit, you spoke on it a little bit already. So that's good. If you are single, is it okay to go on multiple dates? And let's talk about, and I'm gonna add to this question. Let's talk about the definition. I don't mean to put men versus women, but a lot of times we have a different perspective of the definition of dating. So I would like to hear what that is, and then let's talk about, is it okay to?
So when we first started, we were younger, so we called it talking. Yeah, our perspectives was very different. So I just want to talk about.
Oh yeah, I'm talking to him, or that's my boo,
Yeah.
and then it changed to, well, that's my man, or that's my girl.
From day one, I thought that was my boo thing. So I'm like this, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we went on the first date, I was like, listen, we had a good time, don't talk to nobody else, let's get married tomorrow. That was my perspective. Like, we talking, we together. And her perspective was like, you're a very nice guy, but we're talking, but my options are still open. No, don't. There you go, girl. Good job, boo. Meet me after. It's like, yeah, so I remember, and I'll be honest, that we had met and dated for like a week or 2 weeks, and she went on a trip with her girls, and they went, and she was still seeing other people, but I had some insecurities that I was dealing with before her that I brought into this new talking scene, that when she went and did that, I was like, well, she doesn't like me, she hates me, and it made me feel Can I take spontaneous questions, or were you asking a question or you just high-fiving her?
Isn't that how she got the ring? She kept you thinking.
Oh, I mean, yeah, maybe, but
What was the question? What did?
so she said, isn't that how she got me to marry her, by having me on my heels, you know? Maybe, I don't really know. But I'm just saying, like, I was insecure in that season of my life that I was like, this is the person I want to be with. I'm not talking to nobody else. But she was just like, you're a good guy, you're funny, but let me just look around and see what other options are. So that different perspective. She can tell the story way better than me, so I'm gonna let her.
Definitely my outlook on that was total opposite. I was like, oh, let me keep my options open. You know, let me see who comes my way and let me pick from that. You know, I don't think that now at that point I wasn't in the church. I wasn't following God. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. But now, as being that I am saved and I am following God now, I think that I wouldn't have done it the same way. You know, if I'm with somebody or if I'm dating, then yeah, I feel like you can go on multiple dates, but then when you become serious and start courting somebody to be your husband.
That's another word. That's another word.
To be your husband and you actually, you know, God tells you, you know, this is the guy for you, or you get that feeling, then definitely being with that one person and going from there. But yeah, back then, no, I was doing whatever.
They've been saying some strong key words that we talked about before. They use the word feelings. They use the word, well, when you know, or when God says, or...
Right, and that's basing, you know, back then I was basing everything on emotions or that emotional foundation. And that's not the foundation you want for a marriage. So if you're trying to go into a marriage, everything needs to be built on spiritual first. And so if you're looking for that emotional relationship and want your marriage to be built off of that, then go for that. But if you want something that's gonna stick and that's something that's gonna be on a solid foundation, definitely finding out who you are in Christ, and He'll lead you and He'll show you. And you won't have to be looking around and going on all these dates and trying to find all these people. You'll get that one person.
And she said you won't have to be looking around. And that is a key thing that we have to remember, especially as women, is that it is not our responsibility. It is not our responsibility to go and